Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a review of the Sigma Spa Express brush cleaning glove. So I was sent this as a PR sample, and I want to be clear that I don't work with Sigma. I have not promised them a review video for receiving this product. They literally just sent it to me to try. So I want to be clear up front, I'm not being paid and I have not been asked to make this video. This is purely just an experiment or a review essentially on whether or not this is actually worth the money as a consumer. So like I said, this is the Spa Express brush cleaning glove. Now Sigma has had a brush cleaning glove in the past, but they have now come up with 3 different kinds. This Express one is actually the cheapest. This one is $25. They have another one which looks essentially like a mitt like the other one, and they also now have a mat which you sit in your sink, and that's another option that you have. So there's now 3 different cleaning systems, which I really like. I think it's great that they're giving people choice. But this one in here that I'm trying, it is $25. I will mention, however, that shipping is kind of a stinging little point with Sigma. So like I said, this is $25, but if you are to get it shipped to Australia, so if you're in Australia like me, shipping is $29.95. So if you wanted to grab this, you will end up paying around $55 total just to have this sent to you. So that is something that kind of bothers me a little bit. I don't think I would pay $55 for this, but I have not used it yet. So just kind of on the outside looking at it and what it is, I definitely don't think that this is worth $55 including shipping, but I'll leave that bias later. So like I said, I have not tried it yet. I have left this as a first impression review, so you can kind of see a newbie using it to see how easy it is to use, how well it works, and just kind of overall a very honest and true review. So this is how it looks when it's packaged, but when you open it, this here is the actual glove itself, and it also comes with a little information card that tells you exactly what each surface is for. So for example, there's one called the rinse that you use for face and eye brushes. So it gives you a little information booklet in there to tell you how to use it. But onto the more important part, this is the silicone glove. So if you can see, it just looks kind of like an oven glove, but it does not have the actual thumb insert. So you can use it on left or right hand. It does not matter, which is something that I definitely like, because not everyone is left-handed and not everyone's right-handed, so it's a little bit more user-friendly. I'll also mention too that there's this little strap at the bottom that you wrap around your hand like this. So don't know if you can see, but it just looks like this little slit, so that when you put your wrist in there, you can secure it around your wrist so that it's stuck on there, it's not going to fall off, and you can pretty much go ahead and start cleaning right away. So that's how it looks just sitting on your hand. I think it is very just easy to use just looking at this. I'll also talk about the different textures as well. On this side it says it's got rinse, wash and refine, and then on the side that has my fingers in it, it also says refine plus, and it has a different pattern as well. So that's the first option. When you take it off, you can actually flip this part or pocket that you pop your hands into, and now you can access the other side. So now it's inside out, if that makes sense. So on this side here it says rinse, wash and refine again, but it has a different texture to the other side. So this one's a little bit more bumpy, whereas this side in here was a bit more crosshatched, but again it has the different textures. So altogether you have about 8 different textures on here for all of the sides. So it's definitely something that is very universal, and you can really test out and see what works best for your brushes. As for the brushes that I'm going to be cleaning, I'm not going to do all of my brushes because that would 1, take forever, and 2, I think it'd be really boring just watching me clean brushes all the time. So I've picked 4 brushes in particular. This first one is my blush brush, and this, I don't know if you can tell, is stained orange. I use this for bronzer and blush every single day, and I have not cleaned it in a long time. So it is caked full of powder product, it's stained, and it needs a good clean. So I thought this would be a good candidate. I also have 2 different foundation brushes. So they're both geofiber, but they have different densities. So I don't know if you can tell, but this one here is a little bit more sparse. It has a bit more space in between the bristles, so there's not as much kind of makeup caked in there. This one in particular though is a lot more dense, and this has not been cleaned in a while either, so I'll kind of see how they work on both kind of textures and density. And then the final one that I have is an eyeshadow brush, and this one in particular I picked because it's accidentally knocked against my eyebrow brush and it has the wax product all through it. So it definitely needs a good clean. It's going to take a little bit to clean this one, and it's also stained brown on the tip. So those are the 4 brushes that I'll be testing to see how well this cleans. And as for the solution that I'm using, I'm just using the Johnson's baby shampoo. This one's just the regular one. So I'll get right into cleaning of the brushes. So let's go in the bathroom. Okay, so now we're in my bathroom. So the first brush I'm going to have a go at is this one here. So again, it's just a stippling brush that's full of bronzer and blush and just caked on powder product. So what I'm going to first do is just give it a quick rinse just to get all of the bristles nice and wet. Now I'm just going to put the mitt on, so you slide it through the bottom part so it sits around your wrist, and then that's how it sits on your hand, like that. So first thing I'm going to use is the rinse, which is at the top here. It's got kind of like a swirly wave kind of pattern to it. So first what I'm going to do is pour some of this on, and then I'm going to use the water that's still in the brush to kind of activate the shampoo, if that makes sense. I'm not going to add any more water, I don't want to waste too much. So I'm just going to swirl it like this on the rinse part. So I don't know if you can see, but all of these suds have kind of got like a yellowy tinge. I don't know if you can see, but that's all of the product starting to come out. So it's already starting to work pretty well. Okay, so that's all I'll do for the rinse stage. So still the brush has a bit of a stain. I don't know if you can see that, but it's still got the orange tinge. So I'm just going to rinse all of this excess off. And then once I've done that, I don't know if you can tell already, but the bristles are starting to turn white. So before they were kind of stained orange, and now they've got the white tinge again. So already this is starting to get it out. I'm still going to use the wash part though, just to give it a nice deep clean. So again, I'm just going to pour a little bit of this on there. And the wash kind of has like a crosshatch pattern on it, and it's this part in the middle here. So again, I'm just going to use the swirling motion. This one seems to be foaming up very quickly. I don't know if you can see that, but this texture is making the brush really foamy and just, I don't know, seems to be working a lot better. Okay, so that's what it looks like once I've rubbed it in again, and you can see even more product has come out. Like even though the bristles looked white, you can definitely see that even more just orangeness has come out. As you can see, it's pretty much all bronzer. So now I'm going to rinse this again like last time, and I'm sure even more will start coming out. Like it's ridiculous how much is in here. So that's how it has come out. Now I don't know if you can see, it still has the tiniest stain, but like I said, I pretty much never clean this brush, so the fact that it was able to get it this kind of light, almost pinkish color is pretty outstanding. Like I normally am left with an orange brush, so it's definitely taken a lot of the pigment out, and it's also taken a lot of the product out. Like it's not dirty anymore, it's definitely a lot cleaner. So now I'm just going to sit them at the back here so that all the water can strain out and not go into the barrel. Pretty much everyone talks about that. That's what you're supposed to do. So I'm going to leave that one like that. So the next two brushes I'm actually going to clean together. I'm going to see how easy it is to clean two brushes at the same time, because that's kind of what I do normally. I don't normally do all of my brushes individually because it takes forever. So I'm going to be washing these two duo fiber foundation brushes together. Okay, so that's the brushes now. There's not really a massive difference. I don't know if you can tell, but there's not really a massive difference in this staining. Like they still look pretty yellowy tinged from foundation. So nothing too amazing yet. Okay, so that's pretty much all of it rubbed in. I'm definitely starting to see the tips go white again, which is good. So I'm just going to rinse the glove off, and then I'm going to rinse out all of the shampoo, just so we can see roughly how much cleaner they are. I'm actually going to clean this one again, so I think that this one is pretty well good. Like it's pretty much clean. So I'm going to rinse that one out and pop it down like this next to this one. This one here though, I feel like I need to do extra cleaning just because I let it cake up and just get so dirty for so long. So even when I'm touching it, it definitely feels a lot cleaner. You can see the bristles moving now, whereas before they were all kind of stuck. But I'm definitely going to clean it a bit more, and I'm going to use the refine part here, which is at the end. So I haven't used this part yet. I'll see how much more it will get out. So just a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty much it done, and I don't know if you can see it dripping off, but there's still orange in the soap suds, so it's still drawing more product out, which is kind of scary. Like I thought it was pretty clean, but obviously not. So I'm just going to rinse it out now, and we can have a look at the brush once it's all rinsed out. Okay, so once I drain all of the water out, I don't know if you can see, but it looks almost brand new. Like look at it, it's literally back to black and white. It's not yellow anymore, and also, like I said, the bristles are actually free to move, like they're not all caked together. So that cleaned that amazingly. I can never get this brush clean. It's normally always just this gluggy, horrible mess. So the fact that it cleaned it is amazing. And then the last one is an eye brush. Now, like I said, this has brow wax on it, so it's kind of a little bit of a tricky one. I don't know how good it's going to clean it, because the brow wax is, one, very dark, and two, it actually stains. So don't know how well it's going to get it out. So I'm just going to leave the glove in the sink because it's all wet, but that's the brush now. So again, it still has the slightest staining at the tip. You really won't be able to tell on camera. I can barely tell with my own eyes. So it's just a slight yellowy tinge at the tip, which I'm totally okay with. I can definitely not even see any of the staining from the brow gel. Like, there's literally nothing left on here. It got all of it out. So very, very happy with that. And I'll leave that one to dry as well. So that was pretty much all of the demo. That took me, I think, a grand total of about 5-10 minutes, and that was super duper quick. Alrighty, so I'm back in my room now. My little brushes are chilling in the bathroom drying, but now I actually use this, and I have to say I really, really like this glove. I found that it did the job so much easier, and it would have been quicker as well if I did my normal routine. So for example, what you saw was me doing some individual brushes, some in bunches, where normally I do them in mass bunches all the time. So I feel like if I did my normal routine of brushing heaps of them at once, this would make it so much quicker because it gets into them, it actually draws the product out, it gets deep inside, gets it all out, and it does such a good job. So I'm seriously very happy with this little doohickey. I'm very, very happy. For $25, I would absolutely pay this just because it's something that you don't need to replace. Like, it's something that you can use a million times over. It's something that you can just store away, use whenever. It's not going to expire. It's not going to break apart. Like, it's a solid, great product. The only bad thing I must say is the shipping, which obviously is going to be different for everyone's case. Like for example, because they're based in the US, if you spend $50, you get free shipping, but for us international orders, you have to spend $150. Just as a stock price on its own, it's definitely worth the $25. I would even pay $30 for this because it's so good. But yeah, like I said, this was my first impression, first impression honest review. I am very, very happy with this, and I will continue to use this. This is my new brush cleaning routine because it just does the job so damn good. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!